What is up, y'all? It's your man, Dad Dude, bringing you guys another video. I am coming to you on a Monday after a Panthers victory. Man, does that feel good to say. The Panthers had a victory, victory. It's been a while since we could say that, and it just feels good. Now, there are some things from this game that weren't so great, but I'll save most of that for a different video. This video is to feel good about a Panthers win, especially a win over the New Orleans Saints. I don't know about you guys, but as a Panthers fan, of the other teams in the NFC South, the team I dislike the most is the New Orleans Saints. You could say it borders on hate. Of course, I dislike the Falcons. Of course, I dislike the Bucks. But I very, very much strongly dislike the Saints. I can't stand the Saints. If the Panthers are only going to win 2 games this entire season, I'd want both games to be against the Saints. I dislike that team that much. So that made this victory even sweeter. But man, the defense played great in this game for the majority of the game. Like J.C. Horn was outstanding in this game. Frankie Louvu had a great game. He missed like one tackle on Kamara that was very obvious, but that would be nitpicking. The guy had a great game. He forced a fumble and had a key block on that same fumble recovery that allowed Marquise Haynes to score a touchdown. But Frankie Louvu had a great game. Brian Burns was living in the backfield seemingly, had a great game. Like Jeremy Chin had a key sack that forced the Saints to a field goal that they ultimately missed. It's just the defense all around played very well in this game. They held Alvin Kamara to a very pedestrian day, and he got a lot of yards on his first carry of the game. After that, he was not very effective throughout the entire game, and you got to commend the defense for that. You know, Derek Brown, somebody we've had, a lot of problems with in Carolina. He had a great game. He had an interception. Like, that was a very athletic move when he caught that ball, reached out with one hand and brought it into himself for a defensive tackle to do that while falling down. Very impressive. This game just makes you feel good to see a Panthers victory, especially at home. And again, especially against the Saints. Now, I want to give props to Jameis Winston because the guy was out there with, I think, like 4 broken bones in his back. Like, kudos to that guy because if I had 4 broken bones in my back, I wouldn't go to work. And there aren't 300-pound guys trying to hit me in my job. So props to Jameis Winston because that wouldn't be me. And also, Jameis didn't have a bad game. Yeah, he threw a couple picks. One was a late game heave, and one was a tip ball. Honestly, the best quarterback on the field Sunday was Jameis Winston because Baker Mayfield did not play well. But again, I'll say that for a different video because this video is about being positive, about a win. Like Christian McCaffrey, over 100 yards again. He had a very good game. He had some really good runs. Chuba Hubbard had some really good runs. He only had 3 carries, but he had 3 carries for like 25 or 30 yards, something like that, which is very effective. That's 8 yards a carry. Good for Chuba. We finally get to see Laviska Shenault. Shenault came in and gave us a lot of lift off the bench. That 67-yard or 65-yard touchdown run he had, I didn't know he had that in him. Everything we heard from his time in Jacksonville that the guy wasn't very explosive, that he was kind of trotting when he ran, but he seemed to be very explosive right there. Now, it was only one game. It was only 2 catches, but those 2 catches he had, one was a 60-plus yard touchdown. The other one was like a 20-something yard reception where he caught the ball maybe 5 or 6 yards down the field, and he turned it up into a big game. So far, I'm liking what we see from Laviska. It really does seem like his strengths are having the ball in his hands and yards after the catch, which he fits nicely into our offense. I really do hope that they put him in that hybrid running back role alongside McCaffrey because I think both of them on the field at the same time could give you some very interesting looks. You put McCaffrey on one side of the quarterback and Shenault on the other. You can motion them around. The defense has no idea what you're going to do. That could be very dangerous, and it would give defensive coordinators nightmares trying to game plan for that. So, again, Laviska Shenault came in, had a really good game. He came in when we needed him, and he gave us some points because the offense only scored 1 touchdown in this game, and that touchdown came off Shenault's 60-plus yard catch and run. So again, it was just really great to see. It was fun to go out there and watch our team win. I haven't got to do that much recently. So all around, yesterday, I don't want to say a great game because there are obviously things from the game that you can say didn't go well, mainly on the offensive side of the ball. But you don't want to complain too much about a victory, which is why I'm going to save some of my more negative comments for a different video. But this reaction to the win is all about being happy and positive about a Panthers victory because they beat the Saints. They're 1-2 in the NFC South. 1-2. It was a 3-way tie for second place in the NFC South now. The playoffs aren't out of the question. Yeah, the Bucks are 2-1, but the Bucks don't look especially strong. especially with a lot of injuries they've had, and Tom Brady hasn't looked great. So who knows what the Panthers can do in this division. I am still someone who doesn't believe they'll make the playoffs, but it's obvious that the possibility is there. Like, the team there's not way far behind the other teams in the division. Like, I would say the Panthers are comparable to the Saints. They're comparable to the Falcons. Yeah, I think the Bucks are a better team, but I don't think the Bucks are like a much better team per se. I think the Bucks and Panthers defenses are fairly comparable. Yeah, the Bucks defense seems to be a little bit better. But as far as offensive weapons, with all the Bucks injuries they have right now, who's to say what the better offense could be? Yeah, Tom Brady and much better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. But we're talking about like weapons in general. If the Panthers offense can shape up in the way the game is called, and Baker Mayfield can play this a little bit better, the Panthers offense can be very dangerous. I was saying this from before the season started. It all hinges on Baker and McAdoo. If Baker can play better and McAdoo can call a better game, the Panthers have the weapons to be dangerous. And we saw that a little bit in this game with Shenault having a really great game of only 2 catches, with McCaffrey again going over 100 yards and showing why he's one of the better running backs in the league. The weapons are there. DJ Moore, he needs to be more involved. Robbie Anderson needs to be more involved. The potential for this team is there. Now, going into week 4, they're facing an Arizona Cardinals team where Kyler Murray is going to be the best quarterback that they faced so far this season. Like Brissett, Daniel Jones, Jameis Winston, none of those guys are good quarterbacks. Kyler Murray is, I believe, a good quarterback, and he presents a lot of problems for any defense. I don't know how the Panthers are going to fare against Kyler Murray, but I feel a lot better about their chances against the Cardinals in general now, being that they beat the Saints, and the defense has shown that the defense can lock down receivers. Well, they can lock down one particular receiver in Michael Thomas. He didn't really have a good game. The Olave for the Saints had a great game. Like, Jameis Winston did have some success. I don't want to say like the Saints, like the Panthers defense just shut the Saints offense down. They moved the ball, but they just didn't score a lot of points, which ultimately what's the most important thing? Scoring points. The Saints didn't really do that. So again, props to the Panthers defense. But Kyler Murray presents a lot of problems for this team. But now I feel a lot better about the Panthers' chances going in against the Cardinals, because if they had lost this game, I would have had no hope that they beat the Cardinals. Now, I have a little bit of hope. Like, I still think the Cardinals probably win this game. But I think the Panthers have a legit shot. And I want to revel in this victory for a while, because we might not have many of these. And it's been a while since we have one. So yeah, Panther Nation, it's good to sit back here and just enjoy a win. That's all I have for you in this one, guys. If you enjoyed this video, go hit that thumbs up. If you are so inclined, subscribe and leave a comment. I respond to almost everything. And I'll see you guys in the next one.